Hello students. So now in the last video I have talked about the Uniform Civil Code. That is the important topic for the polity which is in the news. Now today I will talk about the another three important topics from the news. The very first is Indus Water Treaty, second is heat waves, and the second is patent regime in India and the allegation of USA. Obviously, I will just talk about the points which is required to write in the mains examination, and we will try to find out that what kind of question can be asked from these three topics. So in this way, I will cover more than 50 topics which is expected in mains 2022. So now coming to the very first thing, that is the Indus Water Treaty. What we are going to understand here is what is Indus Water Treaty, what are the different challenges, and the third question which arises and from where UPSC can ask the question that should we abrogate the treaty. So I will answer that you cannot abrogate. So the question arises that why you cannot abrogate, and that will be the analytical part of the Indus Water Treaty. So now I just want to talk about here Indus Water Treaty. So we know that Indus Water Treaty is between India and Pakistan with respect to the distribution of water of the Indus river system. So here the eastern river that is Ravi, Byas and Satluj is for the use of India. Western river Chenab, Jhelum and Indus, it is for the use of Pakistan. However, India can use the water of these three rivers for domestic purpose and for non-conjugative purpose. Non-conjunctive purpose. Okay. Along with this, what is more important here is the dispute resolution mechanism, and from here 10 marker question can be asked. That what is the dispute resolution mechanism in Indus Water Treaty? So here we all know that there is a permanent commissioner which is appointed from Indian side and from the Pakistani side. So the very first thing as a part of the dispute resolution is the commissioner. So whenever there will be any dispute, then there will be Indus Water Commissioners, that is permanent Indus Commission. Okay. So once they are looking into the issues, and if they fail to bring the resolution, then the neutral experts will be hired. And when the neutral expert fails to give the resolution, then the party can go to court of arbitration. So this is a 10 marker question, I will say, can easily be framed from this part, that is dispute resolution mechanism of Indus Water Treaty. Now I know that you will say, sir, if it comes in 150 words, then will we write only these 3 points? No. We will do the analysis whenever we are talking about the challenges, and then you will understand that what can be written in the 10 marker question. So now I just want to talk about the challenges on the Indus River system. The very first challenge is with Tulbul project. So India has started the Tulbul project in 1987, which Pakistan has objected, and then India has cancelled it. Okay. But now again Indian authorities wants to review and start the Tulbul project again. The second is Kishan Ganga and Rattle project. Okay. So again, with respect to the Indian project on the Kishan Ganga and the Rattle hydroelectric power project, the Pakistan has objected, and this time they went to the court of arbitration. So India is telling that why you have bypassed the neutral expert, which is the second layer of the dispute resolution mechanism, and went to court of arbitration. So India is telling that this is a technical issue. This is a technical issue, and therefore neutral experts should be hired rather than going to the court of arbitration. The third is left bank outfall drain project of Pakistan that is passing through Ran of Kutch, and India has objected to this project. Then we know that after Pulwama, our Prime Minister Mr. Modi has said that blood and water cannot flow together. Blood and water cannot flow together. And at that time it was in the news that why not India should retain all the waters and should divert it to Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan, so that no water should enter into the Pakistan border. So for this, the government has started UZ multi-purpose project for the diversion of water. UZ multi-purpose project. Okay. Along with this, Surajkhand project has been started. So Srikhand project, sorry. So here Srikhand project has been started, and for the diversion of water from the Indus river system to the Indian states. So now at that time also there is an allegation on the Indus Water Treaty that 20% of water is being used by India and 80% is used by Pakistan. So this is a unilateral treaty, or you can say that this is a biased treaty, biased towards the Pakistan, and therefore India should abrogate the treaty. So now the question arises that can India abrogate it? So I will say that no, India cannot abrogate it, because once the India will abrogate this treaty, then it will be considered as against the Vienna Convention, against the Vienna Convention on law of treaties. And the second and the most important thing, that in the Indus Water Treaty it is written that there cannot be unilateral abrogation. There cannot be unilateral abrogation. Okay. The second thing, that if you will abrogate the treaty, then it is against the peace and stability of the South Asian region. Why I am telling that it will be against the peace and stability? Because the similar projects India had with Bangladesh and Nepal. With Bangladesh and Nepal. Okay, there are different multi-purpose projects which is going on between India and Nepal, India and Bangladesh. So basically that will create a suspicion amongst these countries. Along with this, we know that with respect to Brahmaputra, China is a upper riparian state, and we know the equation between the China and Pakistan which is growing nowadays. So China may use the water, and you can say that China may release more and more water to the Assam, and that may result into the flooding of these areas. So you cannot do this. So these are the things with respect to the Indus Water Treaty which is important for your mains examination. Now we will talk about the another topic, that is heat waves. And before talking about the heat waves, I just want to tell you that you will be provided with the notes on all the topics which I am discussing with you on our Telegram channel IAS 360, or also you can visit www.is360.in. Okay. So now we are talking about the second topic, that is heat waves. So again the question arises that what is expected in the mains examination from the heat waves. So I will say that whenever you are reading this particular topic, you should read it from the geographical point of view. From the geographical point of view, you should read it from governance point of view, and you should read it from the environmental point of view whenever we are talking about the impact of the heat wave. So here we will see that how we are classifying the waves as a heat waves. Then we will see that what is the geographical condition and the impact, and what are the steps taken to tackle the heat waves. And lastly, you are supposed to provide suggestion in your answer. So now the very first thing is classification of the heat waves. So I will say that you are preparing for the UPSC, therefore you know that okay, this is the threshold, and if the temperature of the air is going above this threshold, then only we will say heat waves. So this is a kind of quantitative understanding of the heat waves. But the qualitative understanding of the heat waves, that any wave that is fatal to the human health is a heat wave. That's all. That's all. But whenever we are talking about the quantitative understanding of the heat wave, then I will say that according to IMD, the waves which is more than 5% of the normal temperature, it is called as heat waves. So in the plain area it is 40 degree and in the hilly area it is 30 degree. So it means that normal temperature is 40 degree in the plain area and 30 degree in the hilly area, and 5% above this will be considered as heat waves. So this is the two definition, quantitative and qualitative. Now we will see that what are the geographical factors which is required for heat waves. But before that, I just want to tell that how IMD measures the heat waves. This can also be asked. Nowadays UPSC is playing on the another level. So they can say that okay, heat waves is being defined as like this, but what are the different factors that the IMD is considering whenever they are telling that a particular temperature is more than the normal? So this can be asked in GS paper 1 and GS paper 3. So you will say that they are looking into relative humidity. Then they are looking into pressure, obviously high pressure, low pressure. Then they are looking into wind speed and direction. These are the things that they are looking into for the measurement of the heat waves. Now after this, we will also see that what are the geographical factors which is important here. So geographical factor, the very first thing is long dry spell of air mass. Long dry spell of air mass. The second requirement is absence of moisture. Absence of moisture. The third is, you can say, the third one is cloudless sky. Cloudless sky. And the fourth one, which most of the students will miss, that anticyclonic condition. Anticyclonic condition over that area. So amplitude of this anticyclonic condition should be high or should be large in a particular area. Then only there will be a heat wave. So this can be asked in 10 markers in the geography part of your GS paper 1. Now we will see that what is the impact. What is the impact? Okay. So what is the impact we will see. Okay. Not an issue. Okay. So we will see what is the impact of the heat waves. Okay. So what is the impact of heat waves? So the very first impact of the heat waves you can see on health. That is skin burning, high morbidity, or these are the things which is mentioned in IPCC report. So once you are mentioning that it is mentioned in IPCC, you are substantiating the point, and this will show that you have a knowledge. Then you can talk about its impact on agriculture, where the wheat yield will decrease, farmers' income will decrease, condition of livestock that the farmer have will also deteriorate. Then you can talk about its impact on environment. For example, the fish yield is increasing. Plus or flash floods in the Pakistan we have seen. Flash floods in Pakistan we have seen. Then also you can talk about in the environmental impact that glacial melting we can see. You can also talk about the leaching from the industrial waste in or the emission of the gases from the industrial waste in Delhi. So these are the impacts of the heat waves. Clear? So now after talking about the impact, we will also see that what are the steps taken by the government. What are the steps taken? So the very first thing you can talk about NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. They have issued the guideline of do's and do nots. So obviously they are telling that one should be away from the metallic bodies. Do's may you can talk about take more water, increase your rest breaks, These are the things you can mention. Then you can talk about Shaheen network. This is an information network for the capacity building of South Asian region. Then you can talk about Ahmedabad Action Plan. So Ahmedabad Action Plan in 2013 is talking about that to check the rising heat waves. Community participation is very important. We will have to increase the capacity building of health personnel. Then early warning system. So these are the things which you can mention in your answer, that these are the steps taken by the government. Now, if I ask you that whether you can give suggestions of yours if it is asked in 10 marker or 15 marker or can't. So you can say yes, the suggestion can be given like this. Suggestion to tackle the heat wave. You can talk about that there can be heat sensitive ward in hospitals. So in every hospital we have emergency. We have different wards, ear, nose, throat, digestion. For everything we have a ward. Then why we cannot have ward with respect to heat, or whenever any case with respect to the heat sensitivity comes? Then also you can also mention about the second thing, that is community participation. You can also mention that it can be increased, community participation. This can also be increased. Okay. Then also you can talk about early warning system. It is not that only Ahmedabad should have the early warning system. Early warning system should be in another places also. So these are the things which you can mention in your answer. So now if any question comes on the heat waves, then it will be very easy for you to write any answer on the question. Now we will talk about the another topic, that is the patent regime and the allegation of USA. So now the third topic which I am going to discuss with you is about the patent regime. So here I will not talk about the patent in details. I will not talk about the copyright. I will not talk about the designs. I will not talk about the geographical indication. I will just talk about patent regime and allegation of USA. So again, this can be asked either in GS paper 2 or in GS paper 3 also. So here, I just want to mention that what is the context of the news. So US has placed India under a special 301 report. And the question arises that what is this report? So basically, this is not for the first time that India has been placed by US under this special report. But in this report, whenever USA is placing any country, it means that for USA it is very difficult to do the trade with the particular country. There can be any reason for that. But here, USA has placed India, and the reason is low IPR standards. Low IPR standards. So what is the meaning of this? That is low intellectual property regime standards. That India does not follow the intellectual property clauses as per the TRIPS agreement. This is the allegation of USA. So now we will see that why USA is labeling such allegation. Why USA is labeling such allegation. So I will say that better to divide our understanding like this. First is evergreening. देखो जब तुम 10 मार्कर में आंसर लिख रहे हो या 15 मार्कर में, there should be subheading. So if the question comes on USA allegation and patent regime, then you should simply say first point will be my evergreening, second will be compulsory licensing, third will be movie patent, or you can say the third will be movie privacy, fourth will be localization requirement. Localization requirement. So this is the reason that USA is making allegation. अब तुम्हारे लिए सिंपल हो गया, अगर क्वेश्चन आता है पेटेंट रेजिम पे यूएसए के क्या एलिगेशन है, then you can write these 4 points. But before that, I just want to mention that India have Indian Patent Act. Indian Patent Act 1970. And one of the important thing that India did by the way of amendment in Indian Patent Act, that India provides product patent. India provides product patent for pharma products also. For pharma products also. Clear? And this is a major reason for the allegation by USA. So we will see that why this product patent has been a major reason for the allegation. So now I just want to mention an important provision of Indian Patent Act, that is section 3D. Section 3D. So section 3D of the Indian Patent Act says that if you are bringing a new innovation and that innovation is not increasing the efficiency of product, then it cannot be patented. It means that you will have to show to the Indian Patent Office that your innovation has resulted into an increase in efficiency. Clear? And if it is not resulting into efficiency, then patent will not be granted to you. So what has happened, that the Supreme Court, or the matter went to the Supreme Court with respect to Novartis. Novartis is a drug making company of Switzerland. So Novartis wants the patent of the cancer drug called Glivec. But India has not accepted this because it was not resulting into efficiency. And the government said that you are doing, or you are telling that you have done a new innovation by just changing the salt of the pharma products. It is not acceptable in India. So this is called as evergreening. Just by changing the salt of a particular product, you are telling that the new product has been invented and the patent should be given. No, it is evergreening, which is not allowed in India. Understood? The second is compulsory licensing. what happens that there are some condition under the TRIPS also, that if any company A has a patent of the drug B, just for an example, if any company A has a patent of the drug B, then any company C cannot manufacture this product B. But in the extraordinary circumstances, the government can allow to produce the patented product also. So USA is against this, and it is called as compulsory licensing. But if you will see section number 84 of TRIPS, section number 84 of TRIPS, then you will find that each and everything is mentioned, and India is compliant to this section 84, and with respect to this section, India is giving compulsory licensing. And in section 84 it is written that if the reasonable requirement has not met, then the compulsory licensing can be given to another manufacturer. The second is that if the public is not getting the patented product at a reasonable price in case of any emergency, then in the territorial country or then any country can allow for the compulsory license. So we are TRIPS compliant, there is no any issue in that. But USA wants that India should not go for the compulsory licensing. This is another thing. Third is movie and piracy. Then in that case, what is happening in movie and piracy case, that there is a Bureau Standard Alliance, and this alliance says that in India, about 60% of the movie are pirated, and therefore USA is raising question on data safety, that the data in India is not safe. And the last one is localization requirement. So if you know National Manufacturing Policy of 2011 of India, in this National Manufacturing Policy, it is clearly written that India should focus upon the use of local products in the manufacturing, and therefore in the production of the solar power plant, India was focusing upon the local production. And then USA went to WTO that India is not compliant with the TRIPS and India is not compliant with the provisions of WTO. And these are the things, these are the four things, and these are the reasons that the USA is making an allegation. Clear? But again, I just want to mention here that in this particular report, they have also said that barring some instances, India is doing well also in the terms of IP protection regime. For example, India has acceded to Phonogram Treaty now. Phonogram Treaty. India has acceded to WIPO, accession to WIPO. Okay. Also, we have the IPR policy that is being reviewed by Parliamentary Standing Committee. So no one can say that India is not TRIPS compliant. That is another thing that they are making an allegation. Clear? So all these things, or we have completed the four topics, which is three topics we have completed, which can be asked in your mains examination. Now I just want that you should make your notes like this. For example, if you are making the notes on IWT, you should focus upon three important features. तुम्हें ऐसे ही नोट्स बनाने हैं जो बार बार रिवाइज कर सको. देन डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन मैकेनिज्म क्या है, देन challenges में in your notes there should be a Kishan Ganga plus Rattle Chulbul project after Pulwama incident. After Pulwama, no abrogation can be done. No abrogation can be done because of Bangladesh, Nepal, China and Vienna Convention. Also, the point is that if you will divert all the water to Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan, don't you think that if you don't have capacity If you don't have capacity, then you cannot block all the water and it will increase the flooding. So in this way, you will have to make your notes also. Likewise, you can make the notes of heat waves and patent regime and the allegation of USA also. And also, we at IAS 360 is providing you a comprehensive notes on all the editorial topics from 6th of June till your mains examination. So that's all from my side. Thanks a lot.